Hello, everyone, and welcome to Skyhawk Sports Talk. Davis Gregory here. Missing Chris here today. Want to wish him, though, a happy birthday, as it'll just be me here today for the show. Got some great student athletes on with us here today, and a very busy week in UT Martin Athletics as we get into this week in Skyhawk Athletics. First up for baseball, they'll be at home on Tuesday against Southern Illinois at 5 p.m., and then they'll take on the Salukis in Carbondale on Wednesday at 6. Got the OVC Weekend Series on the road at Lindenwood Friday at 3, Saturday at 1, and then Sunday at 1. Softball will be a Wednesday doubleheader at Murray State at 2 and 4:30, and then the OVC Weekend Series doubleheader against Western Illinois at 1 and 3, and then against the Leathernecks in Macomb at noon on Sunday. For Equestrian, they've got the ECAC Championships Friday in the semifinals at 10 a.m. against either South Dakota State or Minnesota Crookston, and then on Saturday it will be the championship for the ECAC, the finals at 10 a.m., so make sure to head over to the Agricultural Complex to check that one out. Stunt will be in Nashville, Tennessee on Thursday against California Baptist at 4 p.m. and then 8:30 p.m. And then on Friday, still in Nashville, taking on Purdue Northwest at 10:20 and then Quincy at 5:20 p.m. Track and field Friday through Saturday will be at the Wash U Distance Carnival in St. Louis, Missouri. And then beach volleyball on Saturday will be at Chattanooga at 10 a.m. and then take on Tusculum at 12 p.m. on Saturday as well. Both those matches in Chattanooga, Tennessee. We'll go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll have UT Martin baseball pitcher Zach Wager join us here on Skyhawk Sports Talk.
Skyhawk Sports Talk podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.
And welcome back to Skyhawk Sports Talk. Davis Gregory here with UT Martin baseball pitcher Zach Wager. Skyhawks getting the weekend series win against the defending OVC tournament champion SEMO Redhawks. Zach pitching in the Friday game. Thanks so much for joining us here today.
Thank you for having me.
So from Columbus, Indiana, you come over to Martin, Tennessee, won back-to-back conference championships at your high school, Columbus North. And talk about that experience of being able to win. I mean, already right off the bat in a young career, getting 2 championships underneath your belt.
For Columbus North, we had a lot of chemistry in the team. A lot of young guys coming in with my grade, and just looking up to older guys. We had a great group of older men at Columbus North just to guide us throughout our career at high school, and just winning those conferences was huge.
And now coming in the recruiting process to UT Martin, which feels like, so long ago. It was really only 2 years ago that you started out your freshman season here in Martin. What was that process like in getting you to come here? Because I know still this coaching staff and still a lot of coaching staffs at this level are getting freshmen out of high school, but also looking to the JUCO ranks as well. And what made you decide to go ahead and immediately jump into Division I?
Jinx saw me at Hoover, Alabama, and he kind of talked to me a little bit after, and ultimately I got a visit here, met Bill White, great guy, and I just ultimately loved the coaching staff here and decided, this was a place for me. Mm-hmm. The coaches as well for engineering. Classes are small, professors know you by name, you can go to their office hours, ask them anything, and it feels like home.
So how does Martin, Tennessee compare to back home into Columbus, Indiana?
It is a lot smaller.
Really? Okay.
I'm from a bigger town.
How big is Columbus?
I want to say probably almost about double this, I would think.
Okay, so about, 14,000, 20,000, something like that.
We have a lot of people in Columbus and around Columbus. There's always something to do. We're 45 an hour from Indianapolis and the same to Louisville and Cincinnati, so you pretty much go wherever. Right. It takes no time.
You come over here, and it's 15 minutes to go to Union City to bowl. So you got to be able to find something like that. We do have the driving range down. Yeah. You can take some swings over there down by close to wherever Westview's at. Yeah. And you a golfer?
Yeah.
You golf a little bit?
We've been down there. We've hit the driving range before we go out and play some golf to try and, get our game better, but it never works.
Okay. How far do you drive? What's your range on that?
Depends on wind.
Okay.
Driver, 250 maybe.
Okay. Who's the best golf player on the team? Or on coaching staff too, because I've heard Bill White also golf some.
Bill White, I've seen him golf. He is really good. Trying to think. I've been playing with a lot of people, so.
And it can be former guys too. It doesn't have to be current.
That stumps me because there's a lot of good players. I know You got me stumped there.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I'm trying to figure out who the best out of everybody is, and it's hard to compete because everybody has their good days and bad days.
If you could form a scramble team, maybe that, I guess.
Definitely taking Bill White.
Bill White, okay.
Jonah Wickman was pretty good at golf. I'll take him as well. He golfed a lot with us. Zane, when he has good drives, I'll take him because if he has a good drive, he can hit it 300 plus.
Zane the manager, Zane can hit it 300.
He's done it before. I've seen it on the Birdies app.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of who else. Yeah, I think that's
pretty much what you got. We'll get Wickman and we'll get Zane. I didn't know Zane was a golfer like that.
Mm-hmm. He does golf a lot. Adam's good chipper. I'll take him for the chip. And then I can be good at putting, so I'll take me on putting.
Okay, all right. We'll take you with your short game, and we'll go out there. We'll win us some tournaments and stuff like that. All right. And so again, coming here to UT Martin in your freshman year, and coming into, a brand new experience, brand new town, and everything like that, and you excelled. You win OVC Freshman of the Year, first time UT Martin's got a Freshman of the Year winner, and you were being used as a closer in that season. I know it started probably a little bit there. Correct me if I'm wrong, at the beginning of that season. And what's the mindset when you come into a game like that that's hanging in the balance? Talk to Coach Jenkins about it. It takes a special player to have the mindset to be able to come in out of the bullpen and close out a baseball game when it's close. And for you, how do you approach that scenario?
It's all about trusting your stuff, trusting your ability to go out there and close the game out. But it also goes back to the coaches being able to put you out in those roles and them having full confidence that when they give you the ball in this game, that there's no doubt in their minds that we're going to win this game. And that also helps your confidence because if they trust you, you're going to trust yourself a lot more. And you just go out there, throw strikes, and do what you do.
And I think for me, the moment, because I was still in school, I think I was a senior. It was your freshman year, calling games on ESPN Plus. The moment for me was whenever we played Morehead State, and it was the Sunday game. Had some pretty good win, and they had Jackson Feltner, Rileigh Priest, and I can't remember the designated hitter's name right now. It might have been I don't think it was the first baseman, but they were loaded. Basically, the three that you were going to face in the ninth inning, they were stacked and down by like a run or two. And it was the most low-stress ninth inning one-run game I've ever seen in my life. It was one pitch fly out, like two pitches ground out, and then one more ground out, and ball game was over like that. Do you think that was the moment for you where it's like, okay, like I'm good in this conference, and I can compete against these guys because those are some of the best hitters that the conference has really ever seen. And Morehead State always has really good offenses.
Yeah, Morehead State's always been a good program, and just being able to attack those hitters and close out the game when you're facing the best of the lineup just proves ultimately what you can do. And I believe I threw earlier that weekend as well.
I think you did too.
Because I got I got both of my wins my freshman year on that weekend.
On that weekend against Morehead State. Yeah. I'm sure they're very appreciative of hearing that. Now, the only two wins you had on the season were against Morehead State.
They were.
Getting into the weekend again against SEMO, coming in the tournament champion, again, a very good baseball team. They were leading the conference in ERA before entering into this weekend series. Well, still are, but it definitely got bumped up a little bit after what y'all's offense did. But let's go to the mound for you pitching in Friday's game. You were nails, 4 2/3 with a hit and then 3 Ks in that one. Left the game about the 6th or 7th inning. Talk about your stuff in that one because it looked like everything was going for you in that game.
Going in, we were only up by like a run. And I went in there with runners on first and second, no outs. And the whole job on that inning that I was focusing on was just getting us out of it and staying ahead. You cannot let those two runners score because that's a huge momentum shift. They have all the momentum, and then they can run with it because they're a team that can run off of momentum. Once they get momentum, it's hard to stop them and get that momentum back. But when I went out there, shut them down, and then I come into the dugout and Bill White's like, we're going to ride you. We're going to see how long you can go. That was nice to hear, nice to get that confidence back, and ultimately just keeping going out there and just keep throwing, taking it one pitch at a time and just dominating each hitter.
And they came in a very hot-hitting team, too. They had just beaten Middle Tennessee and then were a really good baseball team. So a huge win for you all. And you've won 4 of your last 5 games right now. Hey, y'all have got it going. Really, what's clicking right now for the team overall? Obviously, the offense was spectacular, but you got to have some arms in there to go in and get some outs.
Our pitching has been really good the past week. Pitchers have been throwing more strikes. We're being more effective with counts. We're racing to 2 strikes, racing to 2 outs. And ultimately, when you keep doing that, you get more comfortable, and our pitchers are getting more comfortable being in that spot and in those situations and just dealing.
And your nickname, I heard it on the radio for SEMO. Coach Sawyer's referred to you as the Hammer.
The Hammer, yeah.
And I've heard it before. Did he give you that nickname?
No, it came up from my freshman year.
Your freshman year. Okay, who gave you the nickname the Hammer?
I think it was the older guys.
Okay.
Because I would go in and just shut it down.
And just nickname it. The Hammer has stuck. Do you like the Hammer?
I do.
Okay.
Because every time Bill White calls down to get me going, he's like, "Get the Hammer hot."
That is a T-shirt. That's a T-shirt. We're gonna have to get those printed now. Get the Hammer hot. All right. So, recent article just came out about your help in hurricane relief. You have your pilot's license.
Yeah,
that is incredible. Talk about the story of getting your pilot's license, because just reading it before. Your mom really wasn't fully on board with it.
Not at
You had
all.
to convince her for a little while. But talk about that process of getting your pilot's license.
So my parents, for high school, they gave us a senior trip. So our senior year, we can go wherever we want. And my sister went to Hawaii, so we all took a trip down to Hawaii. And I foregoed my senior trip to get my pilot's license. It'd probably be about the same money. And I've already been on Caitlin, so I've already been on a trip. And so I just asked if I could get my pilot's license. We did all the research, and ultimately, I loved it.
Okay.
I'll never stop.
What was the first plane that you ever flew?
A 172, Cessna 172.
Okay. Who was up there with you?
It was me, the instructor, and my dad. It was the discovery flight. So every time they do a discovery flight, let you have the controls, see if you like it, and then ultimately, if you like it, you keep going, and you and your trainer or instructor just keep going and do all the maneuvers, all the landings, all the stuff that you have to do before you go take your check ride.
Okay. I feel like that's a little bit of a gap from teaching you how to drive.
Oh yeah.
Who taught you how to drive? Was it your mom or your dad?
Mostly my dad.
Your dad. Okay, so your dad taught you how to drive and then went up in a plane with you He's got a lot of trust in you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he does.
There's a ton of trust that Mr. Wager has in you, and he comes to I think pretty much every single. How awesome is that to have your dad there?
It's amazing to have him out there.
Yeah,
but it also sucks if you don't do well. And he made that whole trip, and you're like, man.
Well, how far is the drive?
5 hours.
Oh, okay.
It's 5 hours away.
Okay, but I'm sure again he's going to come regardless of if it's going to be a good outing or a bad outing.
Oh yeah, he'll support me. Every time.
Every single time he'll be down. We got your ERA corrected one time.
Yeah.
It was the moment that I had just hit click on the stats computer, and then I would start walking down. You must have hit refresh just.
Oh no, he knew it. I wasn't paying attention. He knew it exactly.
And it immediately got corrected.
Yeah, because every time when I went out there against Auburn and I went a couple scoreless innings, he told me after the game, after I gave up those runs. He was like, "Yo, you had your ERA at this, and now it's at this. So you got to keep it here. You can't have those runs score."
He's the statistician.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
He's a stat guy.
Was he ever your coach growing up?
Yes, he was. He was my coach growing up.
Now, how was that having your dad as your coach?
Good and bad.
Right.
He wants to see me succeed. He loves seeing me succeed. And I'm glad to have him. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it can be, some people complain about daddy ball, but
right.
If you're good. Nobody can really say anything.
Yeah, exactly. If you're out there shoving, nobody's going to say anything at all. And I mean, you have. Back to just the hurricane relief and getting your pilot's license. So Hurricane Helene came through in September of 2024, just this past year. You got your pilot's license, flew supplies from West Tennessee to flood victims up there in the mountains of North Carolina. And talk about the process of getting that, because that is a just tremendous job by you all. And then we'll get to, the Equestrian team, and then also Student Athlete Advisory Committee for getting the supplies and you flying those up there.
Yeah, so I flew a 172 up there, and there was already a plane loaded. So I flew that plane with my dad all the way down there, unloaded the supplies right at the nick of time because they were closing up for the night. And then we hopped back in the plane, fueled it up, and got out of there as quick as we could.
And got back right. It was right after baseball practice that you all left. I mean, Bill and Jinx were probably like, okay, all right, well,
yeah,
go, just go have fun, go drop your stuff off. And
it was a long day.
Smooth flight though. Everything
was
good?
Smooth.
Okay.
Took a lot longer than expected due to winds, but
right, yep.
Plane had autopilot, so.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Click the button.
They're on autopilot. Do you have
throw up a movie?
Okay, movie podcast.
He was watching a movie, so I was kind of like listening if anything were to happen, and then watching the movie at the same time.
No, that might be against we might have to edit that part out.
No, he was watching. I was just looking at it because he had it on his headphones, so I couldn't hear it. So I was just kind of looking over to see what he was watching.
To see whatever was going on.
Something to do other than just looking at pitch black, because we came back at dark.
Right.
So I had my headphones turned all the way up to see if I can hear anything, because we were on ATC the whole way. Mm-hmm. Just to get vectored all that all the way back. Yeah,
well, fantastic job by you and all of our people here in the athletic department getting that done. So well done. Good job on that. Your pitching coach, Bill White, played in the big leagues, Texas Rangers. We've talked to him before here on this show. What have you learned from him? We've mentioned him a couple times, but what are some things that he's taught you here in your career at UT Martin?
He's taught me a lot of the mental aspects of the game. How to approach hitters, what count to throw what, and ultimately just not being afraid to attack hitters wherever he calls it. You got to throw it there. Have trust in him because he knows what he's talking about.
Right. I mean, because got the watch now where he can call the pitch to you and Tommy, the catcher, Frank, whoever's back there, and you see it. And probably, I would guess that there are probably some times where you look at it and you're like, oh, I don't know. But then you're like,
I just got to trust him.
I got to trust it. Exactly.
Because if you shake them off and they end up, hitting a home run, I mean, that's on you.
Yeah, you're going to get an earful whenever you go back to the dugout.
Yeah, so I always throw what he wants.
You just trust what it is. 100%. And I bet you there are times where you've probably been like, okay. And you've thrown it in, and you've gotten either an easy ground out, fly out, or you've got a strikeout or anything like that.
But we do think the same. Like, whatever I'm thinking I want to throw here, I always see it on the watch. Mm-hmm. So attacking hitters going fastball in or curveball away, just trying to get them to chase at something, ultimately works.
We've been doing this for the past, last episode we had all student athletes on. This one we're going to have all student athletes as well. And one of these questions that will pop up, what's your favorite Coach Whiteism or your favorite Coach Jinkism?
What do you mean by that?
Like their favorite phrase or your favorite phrase that they say that is...
Last year, Jinx would say milk and cookies.
Milk and cookies?
When we would win or sweep, or when we had a great game, he would say, go get your milk and cookies.
Okay.
Bill Weiss says a lot of catchphrases. I'm trying to figure out which one's my favorite. He says don't be an idiot a lot.
Just is that he hands you the ball. Last thing is, hey, just don't be an idiot.
And throw strikes. Here you go. Throw strikes.
Throw strikes. And then just walk. I guess there's not much to say because, again, you've been here for 3 of his 4 years. So there's not much that he has to say to you other than, all right, you got it. And then just go back to the dugout and start calling them. Oh, gosh. Well, both of them great, having a great start to the season for you, Zach. Thank you so much for your time. We'll let you go enjoy spring break.
Me.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll go ahead and take a break. Keep it right here on Skyhawk Sports Talk.
If I quit this season, I still be the greatest. Skyhawk Sports Talk podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.
And we're back here, Skyhawk Sports Talk. Davis Gregory here at Zaxby's in Martin, Tennessee. Now joined by Rileigh Rushing from UT Martin Beach Volleyball. Rileigh, thanks so much for joining us here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's spring break. You guys are here. Y'all are basically working on spring break, but you don't have any school. So how's that going?
It's going pretty good so far. I kind of like it because we're at the beach, basically, a little sandbox.
Right,
so it's like a vacation, but with a little work.
And you've got obviously we talk so much about on the podcast about y'all's playlists.
Yeah.
Iconic.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all's what's your favorite song on the playlist?
Ooh, Let's Groove.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I like Let's Groove.
Yeah.
Let's Groove. Who sings that?
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. There's like a whole selection of music. It's a complete different variety. I mean, you have some rap, you have some rock, you have some like crazy upbeat, insane music, and then you just get like an Earth, Wind, and Fire September thrown in there.
Like all of variety.
It is the complete variety. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel like sometimes it could throw your vibe off.
No, well, I guess this is such a hot take, but I'm not the biggest country music fan.
Really?
So when country music goes on, I'm like, oh, I lose my energy.
But that's the morning playlist, right?
I know, yeah. So that's why I have my AirPods. I listen to my own music to hype me up. Yeah. Not like while I'm playing, but like
okay, before the games.
Yeah.
But you don't like country music?
No.
Okay. Well, you're from Colorado, so I
Yeah.
guess is Colorado a country music place? I don't know if I'd define it as so much
Not
country music.
really. I mean, like 2 hours away, there's this country fest that happens every year. I've never gone because I don't want to.
Yeah, exactly.
But my dad's a big country music because he's from Alabama.
Oh, okay.
So I grew up on country and rock, but I didn't.
The country never stuck, but the rock did.
Kinda.
Okay,
Kinda.
what's your favorite genre then?
Rap. Rap and
Okay,
R&B.
who's your favorite rapper?
Ooh, Young Nudie.
Okay, I don't know who that is, but
Oh.
good for them.
Yeah.
Okay, Lil Wayne.
Okay, that's my favorite of all time.
Oh, I
yes.
love Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne's so
Lil
good.
Wayne is the best. I saw him in concert when I was in like 6th grade.
Really?
Yeah, because he came to our X Games and my friend got tickets, so we got to go. I didn't know like any of the words, but that's what.
That was probably a good thing.
That's what. Yeah, that's what.
probably a good thing.
That's what made me a Lil Wayne.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This interview is already off to a great start.
Yeah.
Talked about your dad. You come from a very athletic family.
Yes.
So mom played tennis at LSU.
Yes.
And then Southern Miss. Your grandfather played basketball at Furman. I mean, talk about both of them being in a college athletic atmosphere, and then you as well.
Yeah. Well, for my mom, I think that's where I get a lot of my athleticness from. But also, I think what she's really trying to teach me is learning from her mistakes and what she made in college. So like, she really wants me to focus on my mental game and all of that, and she's been really adamant about stuff like that. And like,
That's fantastic.
really, yeah, and just like really working on not making the same mistakes that she did. So like bettering herself while also bettering me, which I think is the greatest thing. And I'm
That
glad
is
to
awesome.
have a mentor like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Your grandfather, I mean, playing basketball at Furman, what has he told you about, I guess, playing athletics and things like that?
He was kind of a hothead when he played, which I think is where I get my
Okay.
hotheadness from, but I've been trying to tone it down. But it's kind of crazy just like how it was so different from all the way back then from how it is now.
Oh, yeah.
Like the recruitment process, my mom was like, I don't even know what to do. Like, this is so different. And then he was like, what? Like, no. So, yeah, it's very different.
Okay, and then she transferred. She went LSU Summits. You also transferred to UT Martin. And talk about that decision to go ahead and make that transfer and go from Division II, right? That's Tuscaloosa, and then Division I now at UT Martin.
Yeah, well, my biggest thing was our coach left, and we didn't really have a coach, and the school didn't like do any recruitment for a coach, so we were coachless the entire summer. And so then I was like, maybe it would be best if I left. And so I entered the portal, and UT Martin was actually the first school to reach out to me.
Okay.
And I was going to email them, but I hadn't really looked that much into the school. And after I talked to them, they set up a visit like a week later, and I just fell in love with the people. I fell in love with the school, and I was just like, I want to go here. I think I was biased on every other one of my visits because I was just like, I just want to go to UT Martin.
It's not UT Martin. So similar thing for me whenever I was going through, trying to make a college decision. I remember I came to UT Martin, and I was like, okay, no more visits. My mom took me to 2 other schools. I was like,
no.
Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
I
this is
know
a waste of
where I'm
time.
going to go.
Yeah.
I know what stuck out the most to you about it.
It was the people.
Okay.
They really make the place.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So strictly a beach player now, but volleyball growing up, how'd you come to like the sport, know about it, and then, develop your skills in it?
I went to boarding school my junior year, and just because of COVID, because our volleyball shut down completely back home when COVID hit. But if I went to a boarding school, I could still go play. And my mom really wanted me, and so did my dad. Both wanted me to go play. And I was like, that's a good idea. So I went there, and I went there just for indoor originally. But then they not forced you, but like recommended you play
Right.
beach and indoor.
Highly recommended
Yes.
you do play beach.
And I fell in love with beach. After like a month, I was like, I don't want to play indoor. But they were like, let's keep playing both.
Yeah, we
And-
kind of got to have a body out
Yeah.
there,
And then, so my senior year, I went back to Colorado, and obviously beach volleyball isn't the biggest thing.
I don't know how many beach courts are there in Colorado.
There's actually a lot in my town.
Really?
Because we host like this huge summer beach volleyball tournament called the Mother Load. And like people from all over come to this Mother Load tournament. Yeah. But that's like the only thing. We don't have any volleyball clubs nearby.
Nothing.
Just we have like 2 courts in like one area, 2 courts in 4. I think we have like 8 courts.
Okay.
But like No clubs, nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, and you're from Snowmass Village, Colorado. I looked it up before I got over here. You basically live in a ski resort, right?
Yeah.
That is so cool.
No,
but does it get old? Or is it cool? Or is it still cool?
I think it got old being there.
Okay.
Because I was kind of over it, and I was like, I want to get out of Colorado. I want to go to the Tennessee. I want to go far away. But when I go back now, I'm like, oh, it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, in my mind, that's why I said, like, oh, well, golly, you go to living in a ski lodge. It's like whenever you go to the beach, like my family always vacationed in Hilton Head.
Yeah.
And then you find out, like, oh, Hilton Head is like a real town with
Yeah.
real schools.
Yeah.
I've never been skiing or anything like that, but it's like, this place is actually a real place with a school and things to go do and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Do you get that kind of vibe from other people that show up? They're like, oh, well, I live here. And they're, wait, what? You live in the ski resort area or whatever?
Yeah, I do that. I get that a lot. And a lot of people kind of are like, well, like, what do you do? Like, I'm like, I do the same things that you guys do.
Yeah,
You guys just come and visit
It's
here.
a normal life.
Yeah.
It is a completely normal life,
Yeah.
as just like we have in Martin, Tennessee. What's the transition been like going from Tuscaloosa in East Tennessee and then coming over here? And I mean, it's flat.
It's very different.
Right.
I think the biggest change is because I grew up in big mountains, and then I went to East Tennessee, which was kind of like smaller hills, and then here there's like nothing. So I'm like, oh, but I think it's pretty. I've never been in like the plains, and I've never heard a tornado siren ever, so that was cool. I got
Cool.
It was fun.
Okay.
It was fun that it didn't like attack us, but it was fun to hear it. Like I've never heard one before,
Okay.
so I got the experience.
So you got the experience
Yeah.
of it. Okay, now that's good. That's good. Well, I'm from East Tennessee, so like, yeah, I understand it. Whenever you
Yeah.
come over, it's an adjustment.
Yeah.
But the sky, the sunsets are
No, the
huge.
sunsets are so pretty.
It's awesome. That was the first thing I noticed when I came over here was
Yes.
there's not a lot that blocks it. I mean, it
Yes.
is.
Yeah,
You
that's-
can see the sun for quite a while
Yeah.
over here for a long time. But listen, it's great having you here. Decision to transfer and come over. We've talked all about that, and then what drew you to UT Martin. So let's get into some fun questions here, and then we'll get into what happened this past weekend. Big weekend for you all. Your outfits at indoor games.
Oh.
They are iconic.
Yeah.
You wear the giant eagle, but we'll call it a Skyhawk.
Yeah.
And then the banana suit, is that another one? Or was that somebody else?
That was somebody else. I don't think I wore the banana suit, but I wear a bear. I wore a bear.
a bear.
And like, because we played, I think it was Missouri State.
Oh.
So I wore a bear, and then I had like the mantle. So I was like a bear's head. Yeah.
That is so awesome.
And then I was trying to play dead, but then I couldn't because I had to cheer at the same time. So it was
Oh,
hard. It was
yeah.
hard. But I'm trying to think of what else I have. I had I think I might have been, there was one other one, but I don't remember what it was.
The giant bird was my
Yes.
favorite one.
But yeah, they didn't have any hawks, so I was like, an eagle will have to do, and maybe I could paint the head. But
Right. Well,
then-
the painting might, on the inflation, it
That's-
might
yeah.
mess it up. And I don't know. We can't, but for us, we all know it's a hawk.
Yeah.
We all know it's a hawk. We are committed to it. That is the local hawk.
Yeah.
Is basically that's what it is.
Yes.
Love it. I love it. I talk about then hyping up the indoor team too, because y'all make that gym pretty loud. And it's only about 5 or 6 of y'all that
Yeah.
are over there sometimes, and still getting some students over there and everything like that. But y'all are the loudest of the entire bunch that are in there and
Yeah.
hyping up everybody on the indoor team.
Yeah. I love cheering. It's always been a great thing to do, and I think that it really, if you cheer louder, it gives energy to the team, so it'll help bring energy to the team and help them.
This is why we need people out here.
Yes.
For beach volleyball,
Everybody
for
needs to come.
baseball, softball. We need everybody here because
Everybody.
when you make noise, people can vibe off of
Yes.
that. They can play better and things like that. You all played great this weekend.
Yeah.
3-1 weekend for UT Martin. And what has led to this great start in conference play for you all? First time seeing OVC opponents this weekend.
I think it was starting with such hard opponents in the beginning and then being able to make adjustments that the team needed. So then when we did come to conference play, like we were the best and like the best ability that we could. And I think a good thing was that we won against UNA the few days before we started conference. So we went into conference with like 2 really good wins, and that just led into the momentum towards the weekend.
Man, momentum's a big thing.
It really
It
is.
really is. You and Dylan Solster teamed up this season. A great win. Then on Wednesday, I believe, y'all got fired up.
Yeah.
Picking up that victory. How's that been being teamed up with Birdie? We've had her on the show before.
I love playing with Birdie. It's amazing. She's such a calm presence, and I'm Usually I have kind of the hothead vibe, but she's able to calm me down, so then I don't get as angry at little things. So then I'm just fired up about the game, and I'm not fired up about like a bad call or them trickling the ball over the net. I'm not focused on the bad things that are going on. I'm just focused on having fun.
Yeah.
And a few people, my mom came and watched the game, and she was like, Rileigh, this is the first time that I've seen you smile the entire game. And like, I think
that
she really
awesome.
she just really brings out like the best person in me when I play.
What's your favorite thing that Birdie says to you during games?
Probably just one at a time.
Okay.
Just focusing on that, because the outcome of the game has always been something that I worry about a lot. And if I just focus on one singular point at a time, like the outcome will come all together. So, yeah.
Right. Love it. And major is mass media and strategic communications.
Yeah.
I graduated in that field as well,
Yes.
so that is so awesome. What's your sequence?
Broadcasting.
That is all. What do you love about it?
I love the professors. That's what I
Okay.
love about that, and I think they really brought me to really like broadcasting. And I love sports, and I really love just like what the reporters do after, and I love how they're able to like communicate while the game's going on, and like be able to show like people that can't hear, can't watch the game, like what's really going on. And I think it's fun, and they just give a good input when you are watching the game, because sometimes I get confused, and then like I listen to them, and I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Now, I've heard that you're going to be my color commentator for volleyball next year. Is that a possibility?
It's a possibility, yes.
I'm so excited because I'm still learning more about volleyball each and every time that I broadcast. I have this cheat sheet. Bailey Kearns, who used to be on the team and then calls games with me, helps out a ton.
Yeah.
And at the end, I finally got to the point where I would say stuff. She'd be like, oh my gosh, you learned.
Yeah.
So now you can teach me more about volleyball and things like that. I look forward to it. It's going to be so much fun.
I know.
It's going to be great. What do you want to do after you graduate then in that degree?
My overall biggest thing is I want to be the reporter for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Okay.
They're my favorite basketball team, and that would be like the craziest thing. But they have their reporter right now for like after, which is fine.
There's
but
still time.
I can fill.
There's
fill it
time.
in.
Exactly. Why are you a Thunder fan?
Well, it started with Josh Giddey. I thought he was a really good, but now he's not there anymore. But he was my favorite player, and then being a Josh Giddey fan led me to being a Shea Gilgeous-Alexander fan, and now he's my favorite player. And and I really learned from him like what he says and does for his game and how I can apply it to mine, because he's just such a calm and like consistent person,
right?
And that I forget what he said, but he was like, everything in my life is consistent, and he was just like, I wake up, I do the same thing every day, and like that makes my game consistent. And I've never really thought of it like that, but now like I apply that to my life, and I try and make everything that I do consistent, and it helps me with my game.
You are the Shea Gilgeous-Alexander of beach volleyball.
Yes,
that's what it is. You're
yes.
the SGA of beach volleyball.
Yes, that's the best compliment ever.
We've got to get like your SGA jersey to wear during games too. That would be awesome.
Oh, that would be amazing.
So you are a chef. You have an Instagram name by, what is the name of it?
Good Eats by Rileigh.
Good Eats by Rileigh. That has some of the food that you cook. It looks like you're a culinary expert, right?
Oh, well, thank you.
It looks like you are like Gordon Ramsay.
Oh, that's so nice.
Why have you decided to like, is that like your thing, your favorite hobby and things like that?
Yeah, I would say. I think food is a really important thing for athletes.
Okay.
And at my old school, our cafeteria was disgusting. It was so gross.
Okay.
My old partner, she bit into a hamburger and blood oozed out. Oh, it was disgusting. She had to go to the emergency room because it was like, and there's been mold on the burgers. Maybe it's just the burgers. They don't know how to cook burgers, but it was gross. And they had like, people had written out warnings. Like goodness. It was disgusting. So then I didn't eat there. So I had to learn how to cook for myself and like fuel myself to play my best.
Right.
And so I did a lot of research on like what is best before games and what's best before practices and like all of that. And I've learned like certain foods, and then I was just like, maybe I could make it fancy and make it better tasting. And so that's what I've decided to do.
That is so awesome. I'm a big crock pot person. An air fryer.
Yes.
Yeah, but I need to know how to do like other stuff. I can cook a steak.
Yeah.
But the air fryer or the crock pot, I lean on very heavily. Yeah. And that's not really cooking, but
but I think those are basics that everybody should know how to do.
See, there you go. Those are the basics that you need to watch. This is always what I tell any person that's going into college what you need. You need a water purifier, you need an air fryer, and you need a crock pot. Yeah. And then you need a Keurig.
Yes.
And then if you have those four things, you'll thrive.
You're fine.
You're set. you're set. Last question for you. If you could have cook one meal for the rest of your life, what would that one meal be? What's your favorite thing?
Ooh, that is well, my favorite meal overall is surf and turf.
Okay.
Steak and lobster. I've never cooked lobster in my life though, so I'm not sure how that would be.
You need to do that now.
Yes.
That is your homework for the week.
Yes. Or I make this really good Cajun chicken orzo.
What is an orzo?
It's like a pasta, but like looks like rice, but it's
Okay.
pasta in the shape of rice.
I think I know what you're talking about.
And just it's like Cajun sausages, like jalapeno cheddar with Cajun seasoning and bell peppers. It's my favorite meal.
Gosh, it sounds like you're gonna make pregame meals now for the whole team.
I guess I have to.
Your roommate's got to be the happiest. Who's your roommate?
Well, I live off campus.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right.
But-
So then, I mean, you just get the food
Yeah,
to yourself.
yeah.
Then you don't have to cook for anybody. It's just
Yeah.
cooking for Rileigh and nobody else.
Yeah.
But now the word's out, so
Yeah, so I mean, if people want to pay me, I can give them.
you got to be
food.
somebody's personal chef on the
Yes,
team now.
yes.
Birdie's personal chef.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel like you kind of might have to owe her some meals.
Oh,
then
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Riley, thank you so much for
Yeah,
your time.
well, thank you
Chef
for having
Riley,
me. Yeah.
appreciate having you. We're going to go ahead and take a break. Keep it right here on Skyhawk Sports Talk.
If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.
Skyhawk Sports Talk podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.
And we're back here, Skyhawk Sports Talk. Davis Gregory with UT Martin track and field athlete Samir Smith here at Zaxby's in Martin, Tennessee. Samir, thanks so much for joining me here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, y'all have got a big week coming up here.
Yeah.
Just had a big week, and you've
Mhm.
got a very busy schedule. I know
Yeah.
track and field sometimes they'll have, an event one week and then off week the next
Yeah.
week. And this schedule is pretty much y'all are going,
Yeah,
right back and
back,
forth,
yeah.
back to back to back. How are you liking that?
It keeps me pretty active, so I'm liking it a lot.
Keeps you
And,
busy?
Yeah, because I don't have no in-person classes. All my classes are online.
Now
so
that's great.
Just to have practice and meets is pretty good.
Okay.
Just to do something in the meantime.
So classes, what major are you?
Finance.
Finance? Okay, what do you want to do with that whenever you graduate?
I want to be a financial analysis or be like a general manager at a bank. So,
Okay, where are you
yeah.
looking to work at after this?
Back home.
Okay, where's back home?
Maryland.
Maryland, okay.
Yeah.
All right, where do you live at in Maryland?
PG County, Maryland.
PG County, Maryland. Okay,
Yeah, it's
what's...
like 20 minutes from DC, from
Oh,
the city.
that's
so,
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, then what's there to do in your hometown, or do you just go to DC whenever you want to go do something?
The area is pretty big, so it's a whole lot you can do. We have like axe throwing, mini golfing, golf cart. We have like an indoor golf cart. Really like anything you could think of, like we have it.
Wow.
All in like a 45 to an hour radius.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
And then you can go to DC. I guess take a train over there.
Yeah, you take a train, drive over the bridge, a bus, like
Anything
yeah.
like that, you can
Mhm.
just go straight to the
Yeah.
Capitol. I love it.
Mhm.
Axe throwing. So we've now got an axe throwing place here in Martin. Have you been?
No, I didn't know they had one.
Yeah, there is one. There is.
Okay.
Are you a good axe thrower?
No, I haven't. I
haven't
done
gone?
It, no.
Oh, Samir,
I
come on.
always wanted to do it, but like I just
See, now,
haven't.
I my thing about it is I feel like it would ricochet.
Yeah.
And I have a fear of that because I'm like, no.
Yeah, I've seen videos of like somebody throwing it, then it like
I
flew
know.
back, and then like
No,
yeah, nah.
that's going to be the end of the line for
Yeah.
me. I would be done with it. I wouldn't be wanting to do it whatsoever.
Nah.
So you transfer over from St. Francis. How long ago was that whenever you transferred here?
I transferred last year, so last year was my first year.
Okay.
So yeah, it was it was the summer of my sophomore year, and
Okay.
then during that period, I had reached out to Coach Lita, and she offered me, and I just signed right away.
Right
So,
away.
yeah.
What stuck out to you about Martin that made it an easy decision?
I would say like the scholarship and also just a fresh start from where I was at previously, and just like the culture of the team and the people that they had running here. I knew it was gonna be a good fit for me.
That's awesome. That's all. Again, happy to have you here. Just this
Yeah.
past weekend, set the school record in the 200 meter, 21:60. How'd that event go, and what led to the big performance there?
I would say it went pretty good. You know, it's some stuff that I know I have to fix. So coming up on Ole Miss, I will fix those within practice and everything. But I felt pretty good running in my race.
That's awesome. Great. You've been a part of some great relay teams at UT Martin. I mean,
Yeah.
I went back and looked through the record books. I mean, you're practically on every single team. And that's something, though, that since Coach Lita's been here, that the team has really excelled at is the relay. What goes into a successful relay event?
I would just say we take a lot of pride in the relay. Like, we take it very serious. And just to have, like, the right people in there and have it in the right order is very important. And so for me to be on it, I'm just very blessed to be on it. And then just to break every record that we had, just to be a part of it is very.
It's a great feeling.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling. A lot of pride in that.
Yeah, it is.
For you, and I think just got DMR, got second place, and then we talked to Coach Lee about they broke the record, but finished second too. And so that was probably one where y'all like, wait, what the heck? We just set the program record and everything like that. But no, it has been something that UT Martin's been really, really good at here in the past couple of years. And for you and your mindset when you go into that, because track, there are a lot of individual events like the 200 that you just did. But that one relies on your team and good chemistry with everybody. What's it take from your role to be able to have a good event?
I'll say for me,
are you starting or are you in the middle?
I'll say like I'm in the middle, like towards the end. So like I don't know. I love running the relay. Like just seeing somebody in front of me and just be able to like catch up and take their spot so that I can put my team in a great position. It's a great feeling. So I just love being on the relay.
Yeah, that is awesome. Hey, best memories here at UT Martin. What's one of your favorite or top 5 memories you've got here as a Skyhawk? I know it's only been a couple years, but
I'll say just hanging out with my roommates and friends. Like we have a lot of great memories, funny memories that, I just feel like every day is a memory every time we hang out. So just hanging out with them.
Yeah, what's something that y'all do? What's something y'all do in your free time away from?
We play the game a lot. We play basketball sometimes. Just joke and laugh. We watched like sports. Previously, we was watching March Madness.
Right. Okay.
We were all watching the Super Bowl together. And yeah, that's pretty much all we do.
It's just the relationships. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at the end of the day, it's about everybody that, was here with you along the journey.
Just making memories.
Right. It's great. So March Madness coming up and everything like that. Did you watch every game this past weekend?
Yeah, I seen my previous school. They were in the first 4.
Oh, that's awesome.
But then they had they lost by 2 points because it was like a last-second shot.
Oh, against Alabama. Alabama State.
Yeah. So that was pretty. I was pretty hurt for them, but watching like the tournament, it's been pretty good. It's been a pretty good tournament.
Right.
So.
It's been fun to watch this whole weekend. We've had a lot going on, so I've tried to watch it whenever I have. But it's so far it's been pretty enjoyable and being able to watch everything. And what are some other sports that you were good at in high school? What were some other sports that you were good at or had fun in, and that was maybe your second sport?
I was mainly a football player.
All right.
And so it was one day, like, the track coach, he just walked up to me. He was like, hey, man, like, just try track out. And that was my sophomore year. And ever since then, I just fell in love with it, like, just running. Because in football, it's like the contact and everything. Like, I would have fun playing football, but, like, it just got like a little too much for me. But then that's when I just started running track and I fell in love with it.
Were you always the fastest guy on the field?
Yeah, I would say I was. Because I played receiver and corner. So
what was your favorite?
I would say more so corner because I didn't have good hands. So anytime I would drop the ball, like my coach would be good. So I would say corner.
Is that the hardest? There's a big debate about, I think a couple of years ago, our football team did a video about what's the hardest position to play in football. Is DB the hardest position
I would say
to play?
DB is probably the hardest.
Okay.
Because you have to guard the receiver and, like, try to defend their every move while the quarterback is trying to throw them the ball. And, now, like, receivers are, like, very fast and they're also strong as well. So it's pretty hard to defend that. So I would say it is.
You watch some of these guys on Sunday, Devontae Adams and DK Metcalf. When you brought up strength, that was the first person I thought of. But I watch Devontae Adams and the routes that he runs, and I'm trying to put myself in position as a defensive back. I'm like, there's no way.
It's just hard to guard.
The way his feet move so fast would be. Hey, you could guard him now.
I don't think so. No. He's like 6'4", 225, 250. That's
It
like,
runs like a 440 or something like that. 440, 40-yard dash. He might be a tough guard.
Yeah,
just a little bit. All right, getting into some personal stuff here. If you could say one thing to your younger self, let's say 5 years old, say one thing to 5-year-old Samir, what would that one thing be?
Like where I'm at right now.
Yeah, where you're at right now to your younger self.
I would just say we made it. The dream was always to be a Division I athlete. So just to be here, I'm blessed, and to also earn my degree, and I'm just blessed to be here.
That is awesome. That is great. Talking about now goals for the rest of the season. No outdoor championships still a couple months away. But what are some goals that you have for the rest of the year for yourself and for the team?
Well, for myself, I'll say I want to at least break the record again, the 200 record, also the 400 record, and I just want to do better than last year because I wasn't able to come in finals last year, so I want to make that a goal just so I can score points for the team and also walk away with another medal.
Man, that'd be a big thing too, right? Get another ring.
Yeah.
That'd be so great. All right, last one for you. Best coach lead us saying. And we've been asking some of our athletes what's their favorite coach saying or things like that, or Coach Tony maybe too. What's your favorite saying that they have?
Trying to think. I don't know. I just like when she like jokes around because like I'll just probably say that when she jokes around. I don't know like a saying that she says like all the time, but like maybe it's like she jokes around with the team and everything. That's pretty
keeps everybody relaxed, everybody cool. We've talked about it whenever we've had her on the show a couple times about her outfits for track meets. Does she have the most swag out of all the coaches there?
I feel like Tony is up there because
really
he comes with the orange shorts every time with the UT Martin socks, and it's hard to beat that.
Okay,
he has like the whole UT Martin fit on. So, but I would say like she is up there though. She's number. It's like it goes hand in hand.
It goes Tony 1 and then
it's like 1A,
right
1B. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I was about your hesitation. I was like, are you about to say another coach in the conference right now?
Nah.
But she's got the custom jerseys and everything like that.
Oh, well, I'll say like for the OVC coaches, like she's up there.
Okay.
Cause like I know this past weekend she was wearing like some Jordans and like she's just always representing with the colors and everything. Like she has some Nikes that's like blue and orange, so like it's hard to beat that. I haven't seen no coaches wear like shoes their team colors, so I'll say like for OVC coaches she's up there.
But Coach Tony is
Coach
Tony's got to
be
be
with the UT Mario outfit. Like
that is awesome. That
like
is so
anytime
great.
you looking for Tony, you just look for somebody wearing orange shorts. He's right there. You can find him. So yeah,
you can find him in a crowd full of people. Right, who has the most swagger, best outfits on the team then?
On the team, I'll probably say myself.
You? Okay.
Yeah, I'll say myself.
Okay. All right, you got to defend yourself now because I know there are going to be people on the team that might watch this. And no, it's me. Do you have a defense? What's your defense?
I would say having a defense. I feel like my team knows. Yeah, I'll say like my shoes, my hoodies. I just like anything I wear. I feel like anytime I step out, like I just always have to.
You got it on.
Yeah, because like you just never know. Like
you got a lot of combinations.
Yeah, so like something might happen, so you just gotta wear something.
You're ready for the moment.
Exactly.
Whenever it comes, you're right there. You're ready.
Yeah.
Well, Samir, thank you so much for your time. Great for having you on. And we're going to go ahead and take a break. But when we come back, we will head over to the Graves Stables with Rileigh Weiss. Keep it right here on Skyhawk Sports Talk.
If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.
Skyhawk Sports Talk podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.
Welcome back to Skyhawk Sports Talk. Gregory here with Rileigh Weiss of the UT Martin Equestrian team. And we are out here at Graves Stables. Am I correct? Right. This is a long-awaited day. And I'm so happy that it's here right now. So I guess we're still zoomed in on the camera right now. But we're about to see why this day is so long-awaited right now.
Shall we go for a walk?
We should. All right.
There you go.
For everyone that knows, this is the legend of Frappe right here. Rileigh, who are you riding right now?
This is Tia.
Okay. And Mac is also on a horse, but Mac, we do not have a camera to show Mac. Who is Mac on?
Mac is on Hank.
Hank, okay. Out of the three, who's the sassiest?
Oh, it's got to be Tia for sure.
Tia?
She's the lady, so.
Okay, well, we found out Tia only has one eye.
That is correct.
So how did that happen?
Oh, she had abscess in her eye, and so sometimes it's just easier to take it out. Super easy surgery.
Okay.
It actually happens, quite frankly. She's not the only one on horse that we have.
Okay.
And she's still able to compete and be in practice, and she's great. She adapted really easily.
Okay, now her and Frappe have a special little relationship. Am I correct?
They sure do. They are, well, they're both.
They are both getting really close right now.
Well, because you're not quite steering.
Okay, well, Frappe, here we go. Oh! Frappe wants his camera moment right now. That's what it is.
Well, he knows he's a star, so.
There you go, buddy. Okay. We have got him. Who's our assistant here today?
This is Bridget.
We got
She's
Bridget.
Our, 5th year in GA.
Bridget is 5th year GA, helping correct Frappe on the camera right now. All right. Again, we learn as we go right here on Skyhawk Sports Talk as we ride around here. Rileigh, first of all, what year are you?
I'm a senior.
You are a senior. Okay, where are you from?
I'm from Orlando, Florida.
How does a person from Orlando, Florida start riding horses?
Well, this right here, I committed on the equestrian team before I even visited Martin.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And,
there is no way that just happened. Oh my gosh. Frappe, quick, out of the way of the gas.
Tia, you know, just had a little exhaust to let out right there. Go, squeeze your horse and come on up here.
Oh, he's being squeezed. I tell you what.
All right, here. Give me that real quick. Let's see if I can just pony him.
Okay, try to pony him here.
Tia, or Frappe can just come with me.
Okay, all right. So, Orlando, Florida, you committed before you even came to Martin.
Yes.
What did you know about Martin beforehand?
Well, I definitely looked at
anything?
the school population, university population, and compared it to the high school that I came from.
Okay.
And Martin is only about twice as big as my high school, so I knew that it wasn't anything too intimidating to walk into. I'm also a big extrovert, so I knew that the more the better, but also was looking for something a little different than what I grew up with. And that small hometown was something that was attractive to me, something different that I wanted to try out.
Okay. So, high school. Talk to me about there. When did you start riding, and how did that carry on into your high school career?
So, I started riding when I was 10 years old.
Okay.
I had always, my mom said that I could point out a horse before I knew my own name, and it sounds cheesy, but it's the way it goes.
You had a way with the horses.
Supposedly. And then when I was 10, I started lessons and just never stopped, honestly.
Okay.
And worked my way up. I don't have the traditional collegiate equestrian story. I kind of have a little bit of underdog status when it comes to that. Didn't always have the funds to show the big stuff. And so just said yes to every opportunity I had to ride different horses, and it in turn made me a good candidate for this format of catch riding. And throughout high school, I actually played other sports to keep myself going. So I had a love for the equestrian sport as well as team sports. And so to ride in college with the NCAA marries the two, and a super big goal of mine, and I'm happy that Martin took a chance on me and I was able to achieve that goal.
Okay, so got here in what year?
21.
2021, freshman year. What was the biggest takeaway that you look back at your freshman year and you were like, wow, that was a big growing point for me, or I wish I would have learned something a little bit sooner in that freshman year as you've gone on, something like that?
Great question. Let's see, you got to take it back. You know, it's been a while now. I knew coming onto this team, like I said, that my story was a little different, and so even if I wasn't the most confident in contributing to the team athletically, I knew that culturally I had something to contribute, and so I knew that even coming in, there's something to learn from every experience, and so even as a youngin, I wanted to be confident in voicing that and sharing that with the other freshmen or even the older girls on the team, and that every role in this team is super important, and we really preach that and work really hard on our team culture, and so that's something that I came in excited to capitalize on. And then along the way, you know, you get athletically stronger being surrounded by amazing riders, and yeah.
And here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are. Now, this is a very tight senior group. I mean, we talked about it a couple times on some of our episodes and everything like that. What would you say about y'all's bond is the most special thing?
Yeah, we kind of call each other the Solid Seven.
Okay.
We've had classes before us and after us that have all had people that decided to step away from the team or decided it wasn't for them, but these girls really bought in from the start, and we were quite close. I mean, coming from all over, we really were just in it for the long run and this is a program that we want to leave better than we found it. And I think that and the encouragement from each other has really kept us tight. And I think that we were not afraid to make mistakes and learn from them and be transparent with coaches and admin throughout all of that. So it's definitely grown us a lot as people, as individuals, but together as a team too.
Okay, that is awesome. So let's see, what do you like to do outside of equestrian? What does Rileigh Weiss do whenever you're not riding Tia or Frappe or Hank? Or what are you doing outside of equestrian?
Well, if you ask me my favorite thing about Martin, I'd say the people. And so anytime that I'm not on the back of a horse, I'm probably with some community members or other athletes, people that I've met through the university or just that are supporters of the university. I like to do anything active. I love to be outside. It was a little bit of a change for me dealing with the outdoor weather in the wintertime.
Which is still kind of happening right now.
Yeah, I'm doing mighty fine though, considering what I came from. You know, at home right now it's like 80 degrees and sunny. But, so that was an adaptation, but recently, you know this to be true, I like to play some pickleball.
Okay.
It's pretty fun, catching on the courts. Otherwise, I get involved in our Student Athlete Advisory Committee, and Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been a huge part of my time here at Martin as well. So,
fantastic. Pickleball. Well, who are the other athletes? Who's the best pickleball player on the team? We'll just go with that first.
On our team?
Yes. Who we got?
I think it's got to be Gabby Adams.
Gabby Adams,
sophomore,
okay.
And I know that she participates in some of the intramural games. She's pretty competitive. Me and my roommate went to play with her and her roommate one day, and just for fun. And it was, I think, very serious.
Ooh. I'm trying to get Frappe to speed up here so I'm out of the fart zone. You know.
Sorry about that.
No, it's all right. It's okay. Tia first wouldn't let me pet her whenever I got up here. She's a little skeptical. Frappe was friendly. He's a real extrovert. But, you know, just trying to stay out of the gas zone of the horses here. So, all right, big weekend coming up for the ECAC Conference Championships. Tia's getting a little bit more gassy right now. I cannot believe that. That is honestly going to be one of the best moments of Skyhawk Sports Talk. But big weekend coming up with the Conference Championships, hosting them for the first time, I think, since 2021.
Yes.
So, your freshman year, do you remember that Conference Championship at all?
So, I came into the fall. So, it's actually our helper over here, Bridget. She was the only one on the team that was here for conferences before.
Okay.
So, that occurred in the spring of 21, and then I came in as a freshman in the fall. But it was a chaotic time in the thick of COVID as well, from what I have heard about it. And they pulled out a pretty awesome success story. They came in reserve, so second, but our team back then was cheering louder than the team that actually won it. Wow. And that's just a testament to who this team is. And like I said, we work a lot on our culture and everything to be able to have moments like that. And this year, we're looking for something a little different. We're looking for a win and awesome celebration. So.
Correct. So this year, number 1 overall seed, probably the odds-on favorite to end up winning it. I know Coach Kim also has talked about on the podcast too about pressure is a privilege. I know y'all probably hear that a whole lot more than you'd like to, but it really is a great phrase. And so with you all being the number 1 seed, you're pretty much the odds-on favorite to go out and win it. How are y'all handling, I mean, even this week before they were recording it and then this next week?
Yeah, it's 100% true and something that I love to be reminded of. Pressure is a privilege because every opportunity and hardship that we face is seen as an opportunity to grow some more. And so that pressure is, I mean, it's tight, but how awesome is it that we get to host on our own horses that we know and get to welcome these teams that have hosted us throughout the year and bring them in and show them what Martin's all about. And it's also great to have our fan base out to support us. That's always something that we miss when we're on the road. And so there definitely is that pressure coming in with number 1 seed and some expectations, but at the end of the day, it's about doing what we know how to do, sticking to our roots and giving these horses the best ride they can and hosting a great event for our community.
And I mean, it's always going to be a great one. Went to my first equestrian meet, I think, a couple weeks ago here. So you are in what competition again?
Flat.
You are in flat. So how can you best succeed in flat? Because when I'm watching, it's okay. An 80, I feel like is a decent score. It's a decent score, but how can you better succeed in flat or, I mean, whatever other events that people are competing?
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that we can control with our sport across all disciplines. So on the team, we like to say control the controllables, and that is being adaptable and given what the horse gives you. And so with the flat specifically, it's all in the details. There's a bunch of different maneuvers, and you're scored across those maneuvers multiple times. Even if you have a mistake in the beginning, you keep riding your heart out because you can make up for it in the end. And it's all, we can give them the best ride we can for that day, and every judge is going to have a different preference, but as long as we do what's best for the horse and give it our all, that's really all we can ask for our girls in our lineup. So it's really detail oriented from the start to the end. We're watching how our girls warm up our horses, how they're feeling each day, seeing how our competitor rides the horse, if there's a demo ride out. Coach is getting notes for us to see what that judge might like a little more that we can do to adjust our style.
Okay. So this will be the last time that this senior group competes in the agricultural complex together. Has that fully hit you yet?
No, I'm trying not to think about it. There's a lot to be done before that, and I like to eyes on the prize, but just soak up every minute. I like to be really present.
100%. I love it. So, Coach Kim, what is your favorite Coach Kiminism that she has?
There's so many.
Let's go top 5. Let's go top 5.
All right. Well, when she cheers, she lets go, yeah, 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 yeah. Which is just, it's her, undoubtedly. From the sideline, it's great to feel her support in her feminism. Another one is Tickled Pink.
Tickled Pink?
Yes. She, at the end of the day, she always finds the good in our efforts, and so she's just tickled pink with it.
Okay, now I've also noticed that we've had a couple people with saw this on Instagram with water guns,
yes.
and we've got head caps, we've got bunny ears. What is that? What's going on?
All right, so pressure is a privilege, and we got to have some fun, right?
Yes, you got to ease some of the pressure off.
For sure. So we're doing a water wars, kind of like senior assassins in high schools do, where we're teamed up in different groups, and we've got the fun props that you're alluding to is our immunity shields. So if you're wearing bunny ears, baby bib, or tape, you're immune to being shot. Okay. And if you're caught in a danger zone, being not around the horses or not in the safety of your own home, you get hit with a water gun by your assassin.
Oh my goodness! Now that I saw someone sneak attack someone in a car. Now that is a little alarming that someone had access to said car and then shot them with a water gun in the front. First of all, I would have died. I would have had a heart attack if Mac popped up in my backseat and shot me with a super soaker. I'd be dead. Oh. So that can't be legal. But how is it?
Well,
I mean, is that just a part of the game? What do we do?
Yeah, there's some rules. We got to get creative. There's some, like I said, some safety zones. When we're on the horses, we don't want to be assaulting them either. We're currently immune right now.
Okay, well, I'm very glad for that.
If you're going in between practices, or we had workouts this morning, some girls already got hit, and I might mention this started at midnight last night.
Really?
So some people are really just getting to it, and it lasts all the way into the last day before conferences starts next week. So we've got time. So some people are strategizing, some people are just going for it. So you got to be on your toes.
Okay. I need to check my questions here, see where we're at on our script right now. Frappe is being very cooperative now that Rileigh has taken over on him. He's just been a little stubborn.
Yeah,
just a little bit, but he's honestly, I love him. He's great.
You asked about Tia Sass, and then she was like, I'm going to show you something.
Yeah, and then she ends up leading everybody here. So, all right, let's see here. What are some other jobs that I know that some of y'all, to keep the stables intact, have got some other jobs to make sure that everything stays clean, the horses are in good shape? What are some of those jobs that you all have to do?
For sure. With this sport comes a lot of responsibility. It's responsibility to care of the horses and our equipment and all that. And so we have, throughout the whole school year, we have weekly chores that we keep up with. That's anything from horse laundry to cleaning out the stalls, cleaning our tack after every practice. When it comes to meet weeks, that gets a little more intense. We sanded our jumps down and repainted those. We bleached our dressage arena. All sorts of, physical tasks that we get to do. That's the mindset we like to think of it as.
Okay.
We have a staff of 2, right? We've got head coach and assistant coach, and the rest of the responsibility is divvied up between the girls, and what an awesome opportunity it is to learn so many of these tasks that make us better horsewomen and adults for the real world as well.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
build up your
everything we
responsibilities.
everything we do together as a team. So it also helps build that team camaraderie as well.
This wind is taking over my questions here, so we're just firing from the hip, basically. I mean, not really. We prepared. Listen, we're very well prepared, but also make sure that I didn't miss any questions there. And now I've just got to crumple it back in because I can't fold it back into my back pocket because Frappe is wobbling around over here. Yeah, no offense, Frappe. Please don't hurt me. Let's see. So, anything else you want the people to know here on Skyhawk Sports Talk? I mean, obviously, big weekend conference championships. What else is going on?
Yeah, so this is like the grand finale of our season, especially for the Solid 7 that we talked about. And so, although it is spring break, if you're in town, please come out to the Nemec where they're at Pavilion. It's Friday and Saturday is the championships as well. And it'll be a great time. Check our social medias for the scheduling. And you can, it's also one thing I gotta add.
Okay.
Frappe is retiring, everybody.
I know. I'm so sad.
Frappe is the icon of this program at this point. He's been here longer than any of us, coaches, athletes, anyone. So he will have a little retirement ceremony. Not only is it the seniors going out with a bang, but Frappe as well. So come celebrate, and we'd love the support.
I mean, if you're going to come out and obviously support y'all, obviously chasing a championship, but we've got to come out. We've got to get a crowd for Frappe.
Yes.
At the end of the day, we've got to get a real crowd for Frappe here.
Loves the people, and he's well known amongst teams. He's been out to events like Varsity, the football game, so come see Frappe one more time.
Yep, I think we need to get Tia some gas X. I think she's trying to tell us that this interview is wrapping up. So for Rileigh Weiss, for myself, Davis Gregory, we'll take a break, throw it back to Zaxby's in Martin, Tennessee, and make sure to come out and see Skyhawk Equestrian this weekend in the ECAC Conference Championships. Good luck, Rileigh, to you and to the team as well. All right, we'll take a break here on Skyhawk Sports Talk.
If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.
Skyhawk Sports Talk podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.
And that'll do it for yet another episode of Skyhawk Sports Talk. I hope you all enjoyed. Great guests today with Samir, Rileigh, Zach, and then also Rileigh. Got 2 Rileighs on the show. So awesome job by all of our athletes here. And just want to thank everyone for tuning in for another episode of Skyhawk Sports Talk here at Zaxby's in Martin, Tennessee. For all our great student athletes and for myself, Davis Gregory, we say God bless here from Skyhawk Sports Talk at Zaxby's in Martin, Tennessee.
If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.
Skyhawk Sports Talk podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.